We're having technical issues.
I am gonna give this a.
We don't win our hammer dinner.
Welcome to Omnis Eat Vegan. My name's John.
I'm Jessica.
I'm Neil.
Nick.
Today we're going to be trying holiday roasts. We're gonna start, or one of the roasts we're gonna try is the field roast celebration roast. We're gonna try the Gardein savory stuffed Turk'y, and then finally we'll be trying the ever traditional Tofurkey holiday rich and hearty festive plant-based holiday roast.
And the Gardein, although it just says stuffed turkey, we saw the holiday roasts in the store, but we decided to just buy the smaller package just for this taste test video. The larger packages were also available, but they serve 8, and there's only 4 of us here, and we're gonna be trying 3 different ones today, so we went with the smaller package.
Yes.
So we're gonna cook these up, and we will be back to taste test them after they're nice and hot. So we'll see you in just a minute. Thanks.
Welcome back to Omnis Eat Vegan. As you see, we've cooked all of our individual roasts, and we are going to start with the
Let's start with the field roast here on the
field
end.
roast.
Okay.
So there's some lentils. There's some lentils in here. I did see some caraway seeds. It's actually really hard to cut through. Okay. So what do you guys think?
I don't actually think it's bad. At first, I thought it didn't have a lot of flavor, but then as I got into it, it really did seem like the flavor's more in the middle. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the stuffing in the middle that you really put a lot of spice into, but it definitely seemed to have a lot of flavor within the middle of it. I mean, I enjoyed it. I think it could go well with maybe some gravy and baked mashed potatoes. I think it would go well. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10, just in case maybe there's one of yours that can step up their game and be higher.
I agree with a lot of the things that Neil said. It does seem a little dry. I'd sort of hoped for something that was a little bit moister. It's good, but it would definitely probably bump up into for me it would bump up into the 7 range if we had maybe a little bit of gravy with it.
Nick, how do you feel? How do you think it did?
8.
Why do you think it gets an 8?
Spice.
You said, so 7 and 8 because it's spice.
It's 8.
Oh, it's an 8?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's an 8 because it's spice.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
What
like
else?
That's it.
Okay.
Mom.
So I'm going to not agree with my other panelists. I didn't really like it very much. The stuffing actually in the center I liked better than the seitan. I don't really know why. I think the stuffing had a better flavor to it than the seitan did, and for some reason the actual meat part has a weird aftertaste. And I think I said this, if you go back to one of our much earlier videos where we tasted seitan for the first time, I was getting a little bit of an aftertaste on those as well, and I'm getting it on this one. So I'm just not really enjoying this very much. It's not gross, so I agree that if you would have a full plate of this celebration roast with a side of mashed potatoes and gravy and corn and green beans and veggies, and I think it would fit very, very well. I think you would do okay there. But just for me alone, I don't really like the flavor, so I could take it or leave it. I would say maybe a 5 out of 10. Okay.
So our next one is the Gardein.
And we have a tendency to like Gardein products a lot.
Yeah.
This stuffing smells really good. I think this because this has like onions in it. And when I think of stuffing, I always think of celery and onions with my bread. And I think that's the smell I'm getting. So it smells really good.
A little bit of cranberries. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a little bit. There's like a couple of dried or fresh cranberries in it. I think it makes it sort of interesting.
It's surprising because usually Gardein products have more of a taste to them. This one doesn't really have a taste to me. It's a little more bland than the field roast in my opinion. Maybe it's because the stuffing isn't packed full of
Seasoning.
spices and seasoning. So it could be because the flavor is more down because of that. But also, it's weird. I thought it is more, as Dad said last time, that was the field roast was more dry. This one is more moist.
Yeah.
But also this, it just doesn't have a. It's not a very impactful taste. It doesn't.
Impactful.
Yeah.
This has a more traditional stuffing flavor to it.
Yeah. And I'm not a big stuffing guy. So I mean, for me, it's a hit or miss. I think I would eat. I could eat it, but it's not gonna be. I would pick the field roast over it. So it's more of a hit or miss for me. So I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. I definitely wanted to enjoy this one more, but just with how much more blander it is comparatively, it's just not on the top of my list compared to the field roast.
What do you think?
I'm gonna agree with you and give it a 5. I do not. I mean, the first one I could even throw. I would say I could throw it on bread. Maybe put some veganese on it. Act like it's
Yeah, it's more.
I could do. It's more
This one's more like a chicken nugget.
meat-like. So if you're, I feel like that feels more. It has a lot of flavor. Like you just cooked something. This tastes like almost like the package says. It tastes a lot like white meat turkey. Not a lot of flavor in white meat turkey. The breading on the outside helps it a lot. It gives it that chicken nugget flavor. I think the stuffing inside helps it a lot. But overall, the Turk'y stuffing around it is not enough to carry that off.
And I think also the difference is that this one I could picture being in a more of like a mashed potatoes and gravy setting. This one I could see more of like just like a more of a regular meal kind of setting. Like
I mean, if you're looking for something that tastes like or
The-
replace
the
white meat turkey, right there. That's that right there. If you want something that's like a holiday roast, it's the field roast, and that's for me. White meat turkey is a 5.
All right.
Nick,
What do you think, Nick?
What do you give it?
7.
Why?
7.
It accidentally acts like a chicken nugget.
For the Gardein, I actually really liked the Gardein. I think the stuffing tasted like traditional stuffing. It had onions in it. I actually didn't get a cranberry, so I didn't taste any real sweetness. But it was just bread and like onions and seasoning, and I thought the stuffing was just like spot on. Maybe it's just the way my mom always made stuffing. I don't know, but it tastes like stuffing to me. And I like the chicken nugget flavor. I actually really like that. I think that the flavoring on this turkey was actually better than the first one. And it's the difference between my palate and these guys' palate. I would actually give the Gardein like an 8 or a 9. I liked it that much. I would eat that again. I don't know that I would eat the field roast again. But I would go out and buy that Gardein again. The last one's the Tofurkey. This has almost like a rice.
It does have.
It looks like a rice stuffing.
That's an interesting smell.
It smells good.
In the past, usually for me, Tofurkey's not on the more higher list on the other videos. I've usually given Tofurkey more of a lower score. And it's surprising this one is one of the Tofurkey products that are actually not that bad. It's honestly not that bad. It's similar to the Gardein, where it's honestly more of a hit or miss for me. It's something I could eat, but it's not something I would pick into it. So like if one of these are like, hey, we're gonna have Tofurkey, the roast, I'd be like, okay, I wouldn't complain or be like, oh. But it's weird. This one, just like the field roast, I feel like would do better in a with more of a gravy and mashed potato environment. I think the meat Tofurkey really hit it on with flavoring the meat instead of the stuffing. Field roast, the stuffing was the flavor king in that one. This one, the meat is. So I actually really enjoy this one. I'm actually gonna put this was a 6 out of 10 because I still think field roast is better than this one, and I think it actually does do better than the Gardein in my opinion.
That's 10.
You like this a lot?
You like it?
Yes.
Why?
What was your favorite part?
Rice
Oh, you like
and tastes like ham.
it? Okay.
We're
Alright.
getting the tasted ham part.
All right. Sounds good, Nick. I'm gonna give this I agree with Nick. I think this is my favorite one. I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. I like the rice in the middle. I definitely appreciate that. I like the texture of everything that surrounds the rice. I think there's flavor throughout. I can see me eating this stuff, carving this into a sandwich, and maybe with a little veganaise. That stuff, chances are once the camera gets shut off, I'm just gonna eat it. I'm just gonna cut one up, cut it in half, and Nick and I are probably gonna eat it.
For me, this one's just okay. It's not horrible. I like it better than the field roast, but not nearly as much as the Gardein. So I'm gonna say for the Tofurkey, I like the rice. I think the rice actually needs a little bit more salt though. The rice stuffing, I think it needs a little bit more salt, a little bit more flavor. But I think the Tofurkey meat would taste a lot better for me with some gravy on it. Maybe mixed, like Neil said, with the sides would taste a lot better. So for this one, I'm probably gonna just say this one's like a 6 or a 7. It's in between the two other ones for me. I could eat it, but it wouldn't be my first choice. My first choice would still be the Gardein.
So we've heard our opinions. If you found any other holiday roasts, maybe type them in the comments. Maybe we'll have a part 2 to this kind of stuff in the coming future. Who knows? But if you like this video, give it a like if you wanna. And if you want to see other videos that are coming up, maybe the newest cooking video on Thursday, hit the subscribe button, and you'll see one of Dad's lovely face, maybe one of our lovely faces on that video as well. So here's from Omnis Vegan. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.